What's up, everybody? Welcome to the SI Fantasy Dirt Podcast live stream for week 9. We've got your start sit help on the way. Michael Fabiano, Lindsay, Rhodes, taking your questions, getting your lineups right. First, though, we do have a little bit of injury news to pass along. Active, inactives for the early slate of games. We do have some information about some of the guys in the later windows, too. We'll go in order. Quarterbacks first. Jordan Love is going to be active. He's expected to play for a day after his birthday game. It was his 26th birthday yesterday. So for all of you birthday enthusiasts, that information might be relevant. It's against the Lions. It is in the rain. It's supposed to be pouring. We'll have a conversation about what that means for all of the Packers-Lions assets, because I think that might be relevant there. Josh Jacobs also listed as questionable, also expected to play, but dealing with an ankle injury. Drake May has worked his way out of concussion protocol and is going to get the start for the Patriots against the Titans, where Mason Rudolph is also starting. Will Levis is inactive. From a running back standpoint, we still don't know about Travis Etienne, but he is expected to play. That's an afternoon game. Tank Bigsby expected to play against the Eagles. That is also an afternoon game. In terms of the running backs that are out, Brian Robinson Jr. inactive against the Giants. So arrow pointing
That's a big one.
for Austin Eckler and Jeremy McNichols. Thank God, because I desperately needed to put Jeremy McNichols into a lineup yesterday, regardless of the scenario. And so this is a good turn of events for me personally. Kendre Miller is on injured reserve, and Jamal Williams is inactive against the Panthers. So those are two backup running back related notes for the Saints. And yes, as they say on Twitter, this is a Taysom Hill tweet for me. Zach Moss is inactive against the Raiders, so Chase Brown should get all of those touches there, a majority of them. He would anyway. Ezekiel Elliott did not travel to Atlanta. I'm sure you guys heard all of this drama yesterday. Apparently, he's been late to meetings lately, and so this is a disciplinary action. Rico Dowdle gets a bump. Dalvin Cook will also be on the field. Active, Tony Pollard against the Patriots. So that is not necessarily as good if you needed Julius Chestnut to play, but maybe he'll be in that mix. It's a foot injury for Pollard. They also elevated Josh Kelly from the practice squad yesterday. So he will be eligible to get on the field. From a wide receiver standpoint, this is an interesting note. I think it doesn't have to do with actives and inactives, but Deontay Johnson, who has been recently traded to Baltimore, is expected to play about 10 to 15 snaps, according to Tracy Wolfson, who got that information from John Harbaugh. Active wide receivers, Xavier Legette, who now maybe fills a little bit of the target share that was left behind with Deontay Johnson's absence. That game's against the Saints. Puka Nacua is expected to play. That's an afternoon game against the Seahawks. Picked up a knee injury midweek, so we've been monitoring that one, but all signs point to a thumbs up for him there. And let's see. T. Higgins inactive against the Raiders again. Trade deadline's on Tuesday, guys. Amari Cooper inactive against the Dolphins.
That's a big one. That's a big one because now Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman, boom, get him into your lineups, folks.
Adam Thielen, Khalil Shakir, anyway, get him into your lineup. He's been the number one wide receiver there. Adam Thielen out with a hamstring injury, back from IR against the Saints. DK Metcalf, this one's huge, I think. He is out against the Rams, and that's an afternoon game. The Seahawks offense took a major dive last week without him on the field. So that's an important real-world football game in the NFC West, which is all clumped together. 3 teams in first there at 4-4, including the Seahawks, and the Rams at 3-4. Brian Thomas Jr. expected to play against the Eagles, and Gabe Davis not expected to play in that same game. That's an afternoon game, so we don't have an official designation for either of those two guys. Dallas Goedert out against the Jaguars, so that's our biggest tight end news. Okay, now that we have gone through all of that, let's see what you guys are having problems with your lineups. We'll start taking your questions. Suzanne joining us from X. Thank you so much for being with us. Eckler or Chubb at the flex, Fabs?
By the way, adorable dog, Eckler. I don't love Chubb's matchup. Jerome Ford's active today, so I'm going to go Eckler.
All right. Yeah, that's a tough one against the Chargers. It really is. Paul has 2. Let's start with the quarterback. We're going at Dak or Goff at quarterback. And maybe this is a good time to talk about the rain at Lambeau. He's not necessarily the best outdoor quarterback. These are specific outdoor environment conditions.
So first thing, my advice is Dak, definitely. That's going to be a high-scoring game, so I'm going to go Dak. Number 2, I understand that weather can be an issue, obviously. That game is not until later. unless it's going to pour for 3.5 hours, it doesn't affect me. I'm not sitting Jaden Reed. I'm not playing a wide receiver. It's just that's just me. That's just me. I don't care.
Yeah.
Unless it's a hurricane, I don't care. I'm playing my guys. And second,
I'm just saying really quick about that. Jordan Love is a guy who's like on the fence because of a groin injury specifically. So now you put wet field conditions in play, and I have a little bit of concern about that being tough on his injury. So that's the only thing there. It's not so much just normal circumstance, normal NFL offense, rain. How will it affect? I'm specifically looking at him and the things that he might be fighting through with regards to his ability to plant and stuff.
I have him ranked in the mid-teens, so it's not like he's a must start today. And then Mostert and Keenan Allen, Keenan or the chokehead. I don't even know. What does that even mean? I'm confused, Paul. What does that mean? I'm going Mostert though. Miami's defense, Miami's offense last week looked a little bit more like it did last year, where Mostert was getting some burn. The Bills are not good against running backs, so I'm going to go Mostert over Keenan. And I don't know who the chokehead is. I'm sorry, right over my head. I'm
sorry. Me either. Okay, we'll go to the next one. There's so many questions that we're getting here in the chat, so we want to get to as many as possible here. Chase Brown or Pollard or Tyrone Tracy, who is going to be good to go coming off a concussion.
3 really good options. And because Pollard didn't practice all week, and because Zach Moss is not playing, I'm going to go with Chase Brown. I like Pollard, but he didn't practice all week. I'm starting him, but I would start Chase Brown if I had the option. Tracy's great. I like Tracy too, but I'm going Chase Brown in this one. The matchup's really good, and you would think he's going to get a lot of touches.
Yeah, I really like Tracy, but I would play Chase Brown out of those 3 for sure. Rolando, good morning to you also. We're looking to play one of the 3. Brian Thomas Jr. coming off the injury against the Eagles. We've got Ladd McConkey against the Browns, Ramondre Stevenson against the Titans full point.
I mean, if I knew that BT was going to play in it, and all the reports suggest that he will play, but isn't it weird, Lindsay, that he literally went from like going to miss multiple weeks to like he's playing? So I don't know what's behind that. If you want to play it safe, it's Stevenson. If you want to take the risk, it's Thomas Jr. And to be quite honest with you, if he's okay, the Jaguars are probably going to fall into a negative game script. No Christian Kirk. So that's good for Brian Thomas Jr. and Evan Ingram. The safe play is Stevenson just because we know he's playing and there's no issues. And if Brian Thomas Jr. pulls a Brian Robinson Jr. and suddenly he's a late scratch and you're screwed, maybe you have someone else that you could utilize instead of Brian Thomas Jr. But it's really, you're the coach. It's a coach's decision. If you want to play it safe, go with Stevenson.
Okay, we already did this one, so we'll go to the next one. BTJ or Sutton?
Again, I have BTJ ranked higher, but do you have someone who could potentially start in his absence if he is a late inactive? I like Sutton too. I mean,
I like Sutton. I would go Sutton
against Baltimore, but I like BTJ better. So
I would go because of the circumstances and the either or and the complicating factors with regards to BTJ. We're going to just call him now. I would go with Sutton. I like that matchup, honestly, for the Broncos against the Ravens pass D specifically. They need to go get a pass rusher at the deadline, in my opinion. Sleek, hello. Happy Sunday to you. We're looking to start 2 of these full point PPR. It's Calvin Ridley, who went nuts without without D-Hop there, Tony Pollard, or Marvin Harrison Jr., who was also coming
another guy who didn't practice on Friday was Ridley. So here's the thing. I don't like Harrison Jr.'s matchup today, but I didn't like it last week and he had a good game. But Chicago's really good against wide receivers. So just keep that in mind. I don't know that I want to put 2 Titans into my lineup this week. I'm a little afraid of that, especially because these guys didn't practice a lot of the week. So I'd probably go Pollard and Harrison Jr. just to play it safe.
I mean, also, if you go Harrison Jr. and then, Pollard's coming off the foot, like Ridley with the injury, like you can kind of feel it out, like maybe a little bit game time, like watch what they're saying if either of them are out on the field warming up. Anyway, let's see. We're looking at a full point PPR, Jonathan Taylor, Olave, or Swift.
Sleek. I mean, you can't play all of them. Geez Louise. I'd probably go Swift there. Swift's been so hot. I like Olave a lot too against Carolina. I really do. And Derek Carr is going to be back. So I would go Swift here. But I mean, you can't start all three. Maybe it's a guillotine league, Linz.
Nevin, good morning to you. We're looking for 2 out of these 3 in your standard scoring league. So, Fabs, this one's for you: Keon Coleman, Michael Pittman, or Brian Thomas Jr. And he doesn't have an alternative if Thomas is a no-go.
I mean, so Nevin, like the safe call is Coleman and Pittman. That's the safe call. I would start Coleman and Brian Thomas Jr. Maybe there's somebody you could pick up off the waiver wire. I don't know. In a pinch, maybe Parker Washington's out there if you really need to. It sounds good for BTJ. It sounds good for him. So I'd probably roll the dice and go in that direction.
All right. Adam wants to know if he should start Pittman or Tillman.
You guys know I love Tillman. And I know he's got a tough matchup against the Lightning Bolts. I love Tillman. And I know maybe this is like, well, he's had 2 big games, so now it's sort of time for him to maybe come back, regress to the mean a little bit. I'm still going Tillman. I'm sorry. I mean, Lindsay, maybe you want to answer that one. I'm still going.
No, I'm
Tillman.
just saying Pittman hasn't really gotten there for us this year, right?
I know,
like
but
in terms of name value.
And the Vikings defense, it's not been great the last couple of weeks. So, but I'm still going to go Tillman. That's just me digging him.
All right. Shady Grady wants to know if he should play Stafford or Mahomes. We'll start with the quarterback there. Stafford or Mahomes, Fabs?
Mahomes.
Okay.
What? It didn't hurt me to say that. But after this week, trade him. Trade him.
Okay. And that is Mahomes against a Bucs defense on Monday night. Bucs defense has been a mess, kind of all over the place, honestly. The offense has shown that they have the ability to maybe keep it close, and so that could be good. For script in RB2, we're looking at Bigsby or Chestnut.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely Bigsby. And thank you for the love for the Halloween costume.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Lindsay was the nacho man, macho man, Racho man, one of those.
I can't say the name for some reason.
She
Sorry about that.
job.
Thank you for your support, Shady Grady. And I concur with Bigsby. Yeah, I don't think you go Chestnut with Tony Pollard.
Yep.
Anyway, Baker or Love is what Constantine wants to know.
Here's the thing. Lindsay makes a good point that Love's got the groin, and maybe the field's going to be a little wet. I'm sure, I'm sure Lambeau is got that field drained well, and hell, maybe it's not even going to be a problem because you never know about the weather, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not down on Baker like a lot of people are.
No,
I'm not. Last week he had a good game. Now, listen, the Chiefs defense is awesome, but I feel like this could be a negative game script for Tampa Bay where they have to throw a little bit, and they do have Rashad White, and they do have Cade Otton, who looked really good, and the Chiefs are not good against tight ends. So I think Baker's the safer play.
Yeah, I don't see any reason. I haven't seen any evidence that I need to go away from Baker, because we kind of talked about that last week. And then
you can also, I'm sorry, you can also, because that game is tomorrow night. So if 4:25 rolls around or whenever that game is, and it's not raining there and it's kind of fine,
that's
and
true.
Jordan Love looks
good,
then play Jordan Love.
That's a good
point.
Then
play Jordan Love.
Yep, that's a good point. Monitor the weather there, and then play that one by ear. Yep. But I wouldn't feel bad if you feel at all like I don't know about this one. I wouldn't feel bad about pivoting.
In fact, guys,
Baker.
you know
Baker's
what?
Been great.
Our own pal Lindsay Rhodes here is in a league with me, and she's in many leagues with me. And she's starting Justin Herbert today, and Justin Herbert's not that good in fantasy. And I happen to have Baker Mayfield up for trade consideration, Mrs. Rhodes. So
I'd like you to go look at the last 2 weeks of Justin Herbert's play. Just go look at him. Go check it out, and then you come back and tell me that I have to make.
It's not that good. Anyway,
I'm not starting Justin Herbert in a lot of leagues, and that's a bye week situation. So
just
I'm
consider
okay with
that Baker is out there,
I'm
and
not
you can maybe roll with him. Okay,
I'm not gonna.
Anthony, what's up, buddy? I love it. Bigsby or Algier? I actually think Algier is a sneaky play. Like I was texting with your husband earlier today, and
my husband,
not
Anthony,
is a sneaky little play too today. But I'm going to go Bigsby here. And honestly, Etienne, we don't know if he's going to play. We think he's going to play, and that backfield is really hard to decipher. I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be Bigsby, who maybe it's a 60-40. I don't really know. I'm not Doug Peterson, unfortunately. I'd go Bigsby, but Algier's a sneaky play.
Yeah, my husband has been going over these 5 players with me all morning long. He needs 2 of them. You guys weigh in the chat. We'll help him out too. Jaden Reed, DJ Moore, Zay Flowers, Rico Daddle, or ETN. He wants 2 of those 5.
Yep.
Trey needs a flex. We're looking at Chuba Hubbard, who does not have Jonathan Brooks in the backfield this week. Again, he's inactive. We're looking at Rashad White. I presume Calvin Ridley or Brian Thomas. One of those.
I'm going to go Hubbard. The Saints have been crushed by running backs the last few weeks. Like, seriously, like, they have not been good against the run. Their defense is a little bit banged up. I'm going to go with Chuba here.
All right. I can concur with that. Black Rain 7920 is in a tough spot at quarterback. He wants to know if he should start Geno against the Rams or Kyler against his Bears.
So I have. Here's the thing: no DK. And Lindsay said at the top of the show that that's kind of concerning. But Geno has a better matchup. Just listen to this stat on the Bears defense. Only Jaden Daniels has scored more than 17 points against them this year as a quarterback. And he needed a last-minute Hail Mary touchdown to get to 17. So keep that in mind. It's a tough one. I'm probably going to go with Kyler because all of his weapons are intact, and maybe that ends up being a higher scoring game. But this is no sure thing with Kyler Murray. The Bears defense has been tough on quarterbacks.
All right. Yep. I concur with that one. Andre wants to know if you should start Kirk Cousins, Matthew Stafford, or Mahomes.
So it's close between Mahomes and Cousins. I like Cousins in this game against my stupid Cowboys, but I will go Mahomes.
Did you know that Kirk Cousins in the last month has the most passing yards in the NFL?
He had that one game where he had 509 or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, so I guess that does give that little stat a boost, but Kirko Chains,
that's like
how about
2
it?
games of production in one, yeah.
Yeah, Falcons another team that I think should maybe look at going to get a pass rusher at the deadline because they have a very specific hole on defense, and the offense is coming together, and they've obviously gone all in on this season to a degree, having gone out and signed Kirko anyway. Let's see. We're also looking at Tillman, Liggett, or McMillan in PPR. Look at this. Like 3 guys that just popped in the last week that became playable.
Yeah, Tillman. I'm starting Liggett in my NFFC league because I lost Amari Cooper. I don't feel bad about it. The Saints defense is a little banged up. And, no Thielen, obviously. No Brooks, obviously. And now no Deontay.
Yeah. I'm on Tillman there too. We've seen it happen with him
we are agreeing way too much on this show.
I know that means none of these are going to work, you guys.
Well, don't tell people that for crying out loud. I'm just
we have a theory that when everyone is in agreement about people who are not high-end assets, that usually that's like, are we missing
also
something?
Keep in mind that the Saints are down 3 cornerbacks in this game. Marshawn Lattimore's not playing. Kool-Aid McKinstry's not playing. And there's another Rico in the league. Peyton's not playing. So their defensive backfield is shot to what. So
another notable defensive note, we were keeping our eye on Trayvon Diggs for the Cowboys. He is, in fact, active. And that is potentially notable for Kirko and the Falcons wide receivers. And I'm going to stop calling him Kirko.
Why are you calling?
Like, I don't know. It's just like, it's like stuck in my head. Kirko Chains.
Hey, guys, she's a weirdo. I don't even know. Is that a rapper? What's Kirko Change? Kirko what? Chains?
Oh my God. I apologize. I apologize for his lack of knowledge about what the NFL. Everyone that's like his rap name because when he's forget him. Okay, Chad, Josh Downs or Chase Brown in the flex. I like both of these guys. To be honest,
Chad,
I really like Josh.
Tough, dude. I really
like Josh.
He's got a nice looking picture with the hand in the pocket. He's looking good. He's looking suave. Rico Suave.
I say that every time.
It looks good. He's a handsome guy. I don't know. So as a running back truther, I typically would go with the running back here in Chase Brown because he's got the Raiders and it's a great matchup. And I think that's the direction I'm going to go. I love both though. Josh Downs has got a great matchup against Minnesota. Joe Flacco's back. We love it. If Zach Moss were active for the Bengals, I'd 100% go against Chase here. I mean, if he gets 18 touches, the Raiders are bad against the run, and you would think that the Bengals would be in a positive game script here. You would think.
All right, let's go to the next
Yep.
one. On to the next. Brian needs a flex. We're looking at Javonte Williams. I assume Cedric Tillman and Keon
Yep.
Coleman. We're never going back to Javonte, by the way.
I know that,
Ever. He's
and you know what's
dead.
gonna, what's gonna happen, guys. He's gonna watch him go.
This
nuts.
is the week.
Watch him go nuts, and I will scream and swear on the podcast tomorrow if Javonte Williams has more than like 15, 16 points. I'll lose my S. Okay,
He will.
I will be so pissed off. Again, I mean, it's between Tillman and Coleman, and I really like Tillman. I'm a Tillman guy. I dig him. I told you guys 2 weeks ago before he even was any good, like, watch out for this guy. So I'm going to let Lindsay answer this one because I'm a little biased.
No, I'm going Tillman. Okay.
I
Really like I'm not in love with Keon. I'm not in love with
Keon.
Coleman.
Okay. All
right. Baker or Caleb?
I'm going to go Caleb here. I know he had a bad game.
Oh my God, you are?
Well, the matchup. I mean, the matchup's good for him.
I know, but
this is a good matchup. So I'm going to go. I'm going to forget about what I saw last week, which was really bad, by the way.
I can't.
The Cardinals have allowed 3 quarterbacks to beat them for 24 plus points, including 2 who have hit that mark since week 4. I'm going to go Caleb. Listen, I love Baker. I do. I dig him. I'm going Caleb in this one. I'm going to go with the matchup.
Okay.
Listen, the Chiefs defense is really good.
You're right. Man. I'm a little bit like I think I have that. You know how you feel about your Cowboys? That's kind of where I am with Caleb. Like I feel them? No, I don't. No, it's a little bit different, but it's like, when it's yours and you feel like more like
I get it.
Like he was my call,
I get it.
And my Trojans are just falling apart at all the seams. Like I can't even do anything. So I just feel like protective of my own sanity, and I don't want to get my expectations up. I think that's what it is. I don't know. Am I relating to you right now? I don't know. This is a weird dynamic.
Yeah,
Tank wants to know rest of season if you would rather have Etienne or Tracy. Who?
This is crazy as crazy gets because Etienne was a top 30 pick. And Tracy was like bottom of the barrel. Folks, I think I'd rather go Tracy. He's looked like a better running back. He's been more explosive. Tank Bigsby's looked better than Etienne. I mean, honestly, guys, it's week 9.
Yeah.
It's week 9. I mean, this is not Etienne's either banged up or he's losing touches. Yeah. And I got to be honest with you. I hope Etienne turns it around. I've got maybe 2 or 3 shares of this guy. I can't play him. I have him in 3 leagues. I'm sitting him. But Tracy has just looked better.
It's also, and I've said this several times, trade deadline this week. These are 2 teams that I think are sellers, right? So what you have to keep in mind if you're looking at teams that are potentially sellers is that they might start at some point sooner rather than later, pivoting towards looking at the future. And that benefits Bigsby in that backfield. Like, just get him more touches. Like, let's see what he could do if he has a bigger role. Do we even need Etienne here? Let's figure out what we need to make in terms of off-season decisions. Tyrone Tracy is 100% going to be the guy down the stretch. Like, just give him the rock and let's see if we have a superstar.
Look what he did against Pittsburgh.
So good. Yeah.
Dude, he looked really good. By the way,
I can't believe that's our answer, by the way.
I'm watching ESPN and they have a reporter there who, who's got the whole rain thing and going on. And
they're being Lambo. Okay.
Yeah. So it is,
I speak
they're
fabs.
saying 65% chance of rain right around kickoff. And it looks like it's about, I'm sorry, not 65, it's 65 degrees. See, that's why I'm not a meteorologist.
You are not good at this.
2% chance of rain going up to 40 at 7 p.m. when the game should be over. I ain't worried about that rain.
Okay. Again, for Packers people, just monitor it. Yep. Chris wants to know. Chris is down by a lot already, so we're playing catch up. This is good context. Garrett good context, Wilson, by the way.
Joe Mixon. Yeah.
Because it sometimes changes, the answer. So full point PPR. Wait, I'm confused about who. Oh, okay. So he's trying to figure out if he should.
Those are starters. He's my guess is that you're looking at the high end benching Bigsby. So you're playing Devontae Smith, Khalil Shakir, Jamar Chase, or that might be Chase Brown. I'm guessing it's a wide receiver. Njoku is your tight end. That's good. Addison should be on the bench without question. I would be playing Njoku over Kraft, so that's a good call. And yes, I would be playing Khalil and Chase and Devontae over Coleman. So I think you've got the right lineup currently.
All right, there you go. Next up, we are going to go to another question. Phenom, hello. Good morning to you as well. We're looking at full point PPR, Dalton Kincaid or Mark Andrews. For me, it's Mark Andrews.
Yeah, I'm going to go Mark Andrews too, but it's close. Actually, you know what?
It's not close.
Dude, wait a minute. Deontay Johnson, even though he's going to play 10 to 12 snaps, you got to throw him in there. The Denver defense is really good. No Amari Cooper. I'm going Dalton Kincaid.
Why? What have you seen from Dalton Kincaid in terms of his target share, in terms of his route participation? What are you seeing about Dalton Kincaid that shows us we should play him?
The last couple of weeks, Dalton Kincaid, and I got to look it up right now. His numbers have been pretty good.
So have Mark Andrews.
No, I totally get it. Who's got a better matchup?
I don't care. I'm just saying that we've seen it from Mark Andrews. Dalton Kincaid has done nothing but underperform in terms of his role in the offense. It's not what we want it to be.
Dalton Kincaid, 41 snaps last week. The week before he had 40. The week before he had 54. He's had double digits in 2 of his last 3 games. He's had at least 6 targets in 3 straight games. It's not bad.
Okay, I would go Mark Andrews. That's where we disagree. We'll check on this one. Now I'm going to have Dalton Kincaid and Mark Andrews in my mind for the rest of the day, and I'm going to be super invested in Mark Andrews. Chris, Daniel wants to know our thoughts on Mark Andrews or Ferguson.
I'm going Ferguson. I think Ferguson has a better game. So. Okay.
Because of his matchup.
And still playing kickers in Detroit, Green Bay. Now, see, that is smart. That's smart. Because, number one, neither one of those teams has a kicker that oh, my God, I just dropped him. I'm never going to get him back. Who cares? No, you're not playing a kicker in that Green Bay-Detroit game just in case. Because who cares? Pick somebody up who's in a dome.
It's a kicker.
I love kickers, but, it's not like it's Justin Tucker or it's Brandon Aubrey or it's Harrison Butker. It's Jake Bates and freaking, Brandon McManus or whatever. I'm not really, I don't care about those guys.
What about
criticism and bad, but still.
What about Pop Douglas or Wan'Dale Robinson for Bernard?
I love how you say Pop.
That's his nickname.
I know it is, but it's just weird. It's to call a young man Pop is weird. I don't know, because Pop, I just think of old guys. Pop. Hey, Pop, what's up?
It's Wan'Dale.
I have Wan'Dale in this. Yes, I have Wan'Dale.
Yeah, the Titans defense, I know no one wants to know this or hear this because they're the Titans and they're 1-6 and it doesn't matter. But their defense is not particularly bad. Their defense might even actually be good.
I'm playing the Titans defense in some leagues this week. I have, just so you guys know, in terms of the streaming, I have a mix of Titans, Lightning Bolts, those would be the Chargers, and the Saints in my lineups this week.
I also think Wan'Dale has been more consistent than Douglas for the Patriots.
Oh, there's no question.
I don't need anybody from that Patriots offense. Literally, I don't. I mean, in terms of the pass catchers, I don't need anyone. Mm-hmm. I don't need any one of them in a lineup. And if you ask me an either or about any of them and almost anyone else that you could name, the answer is going to be the anyone else. It's pretty consistent. Saul wants to know if you should play Darnold or Mahomes. We'll go
Mahomes. Okay, but it's close. Yep.
Okay. I'm by the way, I'm loving all the support for Mahomes coming from Fabs this week. It's been fun.
Get used to it.
Chuba Hubbard or J.K. Dobbins.
Hubbard. The Browns have been tough against running backs. They're giving up 84 yards a game on the ground. So I'm starting Dobbins. I don't love him. I'd rather play Hubbard.
Pollard or Keon Coleman.
Pollard.
Yes. All right. There you go. We have done it. Paul, Cousins or Love?
Cousins. Yeah.
Cousins. Ooh, agreement.
Oh, wait. Let me call him by his cool name. Kirk Co. Is that it?
Okay. Get out of here. Josh Staples wants to know, and this is, and I was just thinking, I can't believe we haven't had a Bo Nix question yet.
I know.
Because this is the one that I would have thought would have been cycled through here with the Jordan Love or the Kirk Cousins or whatever. That was the combination I was expecting today.
Yeah.
Bo Nix or, and I'm Caleb. Caleb's the only Williams, right? So Caleb at the quarterback spot.
Yeah, I've got Caleb ranked 11 and Bo Nix ranked 12.
I'm going Bo.
I'm going
Bo. You guys, the Ravens are, first of all, Bo has been pretty good in the last month. Like, Bo is
Been very
showing
good. Very
signs
good.
of growth and development. The Ravens do not have a pass rush. That is affecting their pass defense for fantasy purposes. This is relevant for all of us. You guys, Jameis Winston, who threw for 300 plus yards and they had their best offensive day of the year, the Browns last week against the Ravens, did that with a time to throw of like 4.3 seconds. You guys, bonkers. He has so much time in the pocket. So now put that on Bo Nix and this rookie quarterback. And I know rookies haven't had a lot of success against the Ravens, but I just think that this year is different. I think Bo is going to have a good game. I could be wrong. I'm playing him in one and done. That's how much I believe in Bo this week.
Tristan, what's up? I see there's horses in there, right? Wellington, where I live, they got the little horses.
Okay.
A lot of equestrian stuff going on.
Marvin Harrison.
Listen, I like to play. I like to talk to the folks. Marvin Harrison.
So many questions, and you're like talking about
Brian
horses
Thomas
in their profile picture.
I'm just saying. I'm gonna go Marvin Harrison Jr. here just because.
Yes.
Safety, just safety.
Yes.
Kind of thing. Now again, the good thing is that you've got two games that are in the late window.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hear in a report, Brian Thomas has looked good and blah, 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 and he's good to go, then I may pivot a little bit. But right now I'm going to go Harrison.
Yeah, I'd go Harrison. But Brian Thomas has been very good. Just the injury, the non-practice, all of that stuff concerns me for this particular week. If you have another option that could be good, Marvin Harrison had a good week last week in a bad matchup, I'd go with him. Paul wants to know if he should play Stafford or Mayfield.
I got Stafford ranked higher. Look, great matchup.
Yes.
Now, Puka's supposed to play.
He's
supposed to play.
He's
supposed to play.
Yeah.
So if he's got Puka and he's got Cooper, and it could be a high-scoring game. The Rams' offense clicked last week. I'm going to go Stafford.
You saw what their presence on the field means for Stafford. Stafford has been not great this year, like without anything around him. Those two guys changed the entire thing for their offense. I think this is a team that's going to go on a mini run, and I would go Stafford in that case. Mm-hmm. Next question. Love having so many of you guys with us, by the way. Thank you so much for joining us. Keon Coleman or Jaden Reed is what Napoleon wants to know. Hi, Napoleon.
Napoleon, what's up? I've still got to go Jaden Reed. Maybe Lindsay can answer this one because I still have my love for Jaden Reed and the matchup's good against Detroit.
Yeah.
I got to go Jaden Reed.
Look, you would go Jaden Reed over DJ Moore. This is not that. This is Keon Coleman or Jaden Reed.
I know,
and you have to go with Jaden Reed in this particular situation.
Coleman been markedly better than Jaden Reed lately in the last few weeks. So it's not like absurd.
It's not absurd. It's not absurd. I would go Jaden Reed. And maybe I have a block that I need to get through with Keon Coleman. So I'll take a look at that, I guess. But JChamp21 joining us via X, Laporta or Kraft at tight end?
Yeah, I'm going to go Laporta. I don't love the matchup for Kraft in this game. Detroit's actually been really tough on tight ends. So, excuse me. Detroit. Yeah, I'm getting my teams goofed up here. But yeah, right, exactly. Laporta is playing against Kraft, Fabiano. Wake up. The answer is Laporta. I have Kraft outside of my top 10 tight ends this week.
Alrighty. I would go Laporta also. Nick Rose is looking to start either Zay Flowers or Pittman Jr. half-point PPR.
I don't love the matchup for Flowers. I have said that. And Pittman Jr. actually has a better matchup against Minnesota. And Flacco's the quarterback. I'm going Michael Pittman Jr.
Yeah, I could get behind that. I don't know. I don't know about that. That Ravens offense today. I just don't know. Like I assume that they're still going to have some success because they do, even in bad matchups. And even when the matchup is bad, like the Broncos defense, I think is good. They haven't played that many people, right, that are good. So this is a really big test for them where we learn just how good the defense is. But I think in these types of situations, good offense usually beats good defense. So you don't necessarily go away from it, but it's not the type of offense in terms of a passing game standpoint that is consistent in terms of the pass catchers. So that one's tough in addition to the bad matchup. Christopher Soriano, who would you drop? Bigsby or Bucky?
That's rough, Chris. That's really rough because and my
you could also drop Tillman.
This all depends on what your roster construction is. Like, do you need Tillman? Are you lacking at wide receiver? And so losing Tillman would hurt you? I got to be honest with you. I'd rather have Bucky Irving than Tank Bigsby rest of the season. We have seen Bucky Irving put up really good numbers last 3 weeks. Look at his numbers. He's been really good. And even with Rachaad White playing well too, Bucky's not losing any. And the Bucs don't have their top 2 wide receivers. They're going to have to lean on the running backs more. And who's to say that when Etienne comes back, he doesn't reclaim the job? I don't know. He's got to play way better. I'd rather have Bucky Irving. And again, like my love for Tillman is I don't want to cut him. But if you're like really deep at wide receiver and you're not deep at running back, then I guess you can, cut Tillman in that case.
Yeah, 100%. And also, we know what Bucky looks like with Rachaad on the field. We know that he still has a role. Like Bigsby has come on strong, but we don't know if they're ready in Jacksonville to flip the order of the depth chart.
Right.
And so until we know that, I think you have to go with the known commodity. Goff or Knicks, full point PPR.
Yeah, it definitely Knicks. Definitely Knicks. Goff has averaged about 13 points per game career in Green Bay. I think he's had 3 career games there. And again, I mean, Lindsay said it earlier. Like Bo Nix has been good. Like, we can make fun and crap on, they drafted him too high out of desperation because Penix got drafted too high and blah, 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 blah. Bo Nix is, from a fantasy perspective, has been pretty damn good. I can't kill the kid. He's been really good lately.
Yeah. I see one in the chat. I'm going to answer really quickly. Kevin Simpson. The answer is Jeremy McNichols. There are people out there that are never Trumpers. Fabs is a never Miles Sanderser. And so that's the other option. It's Jeremy McNichols. Felix wants to know if he should start Shakir or Pittman.
When I heard the news that Amari Cooper was going to be out, I moved Shakir pretty significantly up my rankings. He is at 24. I have Pittman at 26.
Yep. I concur with that order of things.
I like
Thank you
them
very
both,
much for the question, Felix.
both.
Appreciate it. We're taking your start sit questions for a little while longer, at least up to 45, and then we'll try and go.
Let's go right to 50, 55. I love talking. Lindsay's going to set her lineups though.
I already did. Today I'm good. Today I'm good. I don't think I have Brian Robinson that I need to take out anywhere. Brando.
See, now I got Brando.
Oh God.
Come to me with your fantasy football questions.
Oh shit!
I will help you.
Okay. Puka or Olave?
Is Olave. Well, I'm tired of doing the voice. Yeah. There's the thing. Olave's got Derek Carr back, and he's got a good matchup against Carolina. Puka's got a good matchup, but I mean, the knee. I don't like when a guy picks up knee injury. Like you have a better option, a safer option, not a better option. A safer.
Now hold that thought. So he's going Olave. Now Puka's left over. Is it Puka or Pollard in the flex? I go Puka.
See, that's a tougher one. I'm going to go Puka. I'll go Puka because it's PPR. Yeah.
And Pollard's been banged up and
right, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, 2 banged up guys.
Hit or miss
PPR,
anyway.
Go with wide receiver. No, Pollard's been good. What, my voice really went up crazy there. Pollard's actually been really good. Like he hasn't been as hit or miss as you think. Trust me, I know. I get pissed off every time he has a good game because he used to play.
Maybe it was just the 1 week I played him. The 1 week I played him in one and done, that was the week that he sucked then? Is that what you're telling me?
Maybe.
I don't have any Pollard shares anywhere, so it's not like I've been.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, Tyler, half point PPR. We're picking 2 of these Fabs. Waddle, Lockett, Wandell, Mostert. Okay.
All right, so half point PPR.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a running back because he's got a good matchup against Buffalo,
Mostert.
And I would expect that he has a shot to get into the end zone. Out of the other 3, because there's no DK, I'm going Lockett. Waddle has not historically done well against Buffalo, and Tua has been bad, like really bad, not mid, cringe, really bad. Lindsay loves when I talk like the kids talk.
I'm going Mostert and Lockett. Mostert and Lockett also. Okay.
Yes.
Next question. Thank you very much, Tyler, for joining us. Appreciate you. Jacob, full point PPR. We're picking 2 of these Fabs. We're looking at Marvin Harrison Jr. We're looking at Zay Flowers, DJ Moore, D Hop, and Pittman Jr.
I got
mine.
I'm going to go Harrison Jr. and I'm going to go DJ Moore.
Me too.
Jacob, I apologize. Oh, this is bad. It's so bad for you guys when we agree.
Oh. Another one from Christopher Soriano. Who would you flex? Chase Brown, Dobbins, or Nakua?
It's between Chase and Nakua. I'm going Chase Brown. I'm sorry. There's no Zach Moss, and he's playing the Raiders. And you eliminate any risk with Nakua, any risk. So I'm going to go Chase Brown there. And you're also telling us, Christopher, that it's RBs due to the 2 point per 10-yard rushing. So it's definitely Chase. Definitely Chase. In this case. Yeah.
And let's go back again for just a second. There was more to his question.
There.
I just wanted to make sure that we got all of that, Doug.
Or 1,000. No,
okay.
Chase Brown is
and also notable for the running back situation there. 2 point per 10 yards rushing.
Right, that's what I said.
It's also 1 point PPR. So Nakua. Okay, we got it.
I'm going Brown. Chase Brown.
Sorry, I hadn't read it all, so I wasn't sure if there was.
Sometimes it takes time for Lindsay to metabolize things. She's
Next question.
She's so mad at me right now.
Njoku or Laporta? Half point.
Hey Nick, Njoku.
All right, that was easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
Didn't even pause. Another Nick question. Try to put your questions, if you guys can, all in one, because there's so many people that we're not getting through that I would prefer to just get one person one time, so that we can get as many people's rosters fixed as possible. Zay Flowers or Pittman Jr. He needs one of these.
Pittman Jr.
Wait a minute. By the way, I need if Puka is out, but Puka is not going to be out. Everything we're hearing is Puka's going to play.
That's right. That's the hope. So I wouldn't start Zay and then Pittman Jr. is a guy I wanted to play, and then Puka's going to play, so I got to sit Pittman Jr. I'd rather play. Can we call him MPJ? Michael Pittman Jr. That's what we do with every other junior, right?
61 Scorpio, Deontay Johnson or Jalen Reed?
Yeah, no, it's Jaden Reed. I want nothing to do with Deontay Johnson today. Nothing. Yeah. 0.
I don't either. Why are they telling us 10 to 15? Why is that information that they would tell us?
Maybe they're trying to, screw fantasy managers, and he's actually going to play 40.
Doesn't that feel weird that they would actually give us the snap count and not just say, hey, we're going to have him on a snap count? Why tell us the number? That feels weird. Chris wants to know if he should play Bateman or Troy Franklin, and it's Bateman.
This is it. I know, but this is interesting though. I can't. Based on the matchups, Franklin's got a way better matchup, but I agree with Lindsay. I'm going to go Bateman.
Help me understand what Franklin has done this year. What makes you feel comfortable playing Franklin at all?
I'm not comfortable, to be quite honest, playing either one of them, but I'd rather play Bateman.
Well, Franklin's Bateman at least has had some big games.
Yeah, Franklin's had a couple of good games. Bateman's been much better, though, yeah.
Okay, I'm going Bateman.
Yep.
Next up, Gabriel. Xavier Leggett or Cortland Sutton? I'm going Sutton.
Yes, Sutton for me as well.
We're getting a lot of Broncos pass catchers I guess not a lot, but a few, which I think is a valid question because it's a good matchup for them. And it's weird because I think that Bo Nix has been really good. The pass catchers are they have a weird offense, right? Almost all of the assets feel very, to steal a word of yours, and I don't want to encourage this mid. Brian needs a starting tight end, Kraft or Andrews.
That'll be Andrews for me.
Okay, me too. And that standard scoring, which doesn't matter, they're the same.
Hey, Nicole,
well, maybe it does because it's more touchdown dependent, I suppose. Nicole, half point PPR, needs help for one wide receiver and one flex. Jaden Reed, Lad McConkey, Jacoby Myers, Kareem Hunt, J.K. Dobbins.
I probably am going Jaden Reed again. Maybe this is just because I dig him the most.
He digs him so much. And then since it's
half point PPR, I like Hunt over Dobbins this week because Hunt's got a really good matchup against Tampa. I know Lindsay's going to go the opposite way, but
yes, 100% I am. Okay. Let's talk about Jacoby Myers though. Why not Jacoby Myers against the Bengals?
I don't. I feel like I will be chasing the points with him, and Kareem Hunt has been really consistent. He's been very consistent in that low to mid teens points per game. It's not like he's catching a ton of passes out of the backfield. He's getting a lot of that on the ground, which this is half point PPR. I just rather go Kareem Hunt. I just like the matchup better.
Okay. Jacoby, I think, is interesting in the wide receiver. mix, because I think that Fabs has acknowledged, and for good reason, like Jaden Reed is a guy who has some exciting talent and
Just that
target share,
hasn't been
whatever.
great
But like
lately, though.
he has 2 big blow up games, and then they spread the
Yeah.
ball around. Like, you don't know if he's going to get it. I just think Jacoby Myers in a good matchup in an offense that doesn't have anyone to throw the ball to. It's him and Brock. It's him and Brock. It's him and Brock. So I actually kind of like Jacoby Myers as your
Lindsay, who is it?
this
Who
week.
is it?
Him
Who
and
is it?
Brock.
Okay.
Murray or Darnold?
Darnold. And
See,
then
Easy
Tyler Tracy
Raider.
over
Easy
Flowers.
Raider could help us answer that question about whether or not it should be Jacoby Myers. Sorry,
Yeah.
you said
And then Tracy over Flowers.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
God, where are we here?
I know, it's the bizarro world, man.
I know, crazy.
Total
Okay,
bizarro
next
world.
up,
Next question. All right.
Josh.
Smithers.
16 team full point PPR. That
Isn't that from The
is
Simpsons?
like nothing on the waiver wire for sure. Receiver advice. We're looking at Dontavian Wicks, Ray McLeod, Tyler Boyd, or Devon Bailey.
I mean, is it? I guess it's one. So out of that group, I'd probably So what's going to be the high scoring game out of that? Let's just say it's going to be either Lions Packers or it's going to be Falcons Pokes. And so I'm probably going to go Ray here. You're probably going to go Wicks because I know you still have.
No, remember I told you never. I'm
Okay.
off of that so that you can benefit from it. I can't be on board anymore. I'm the cooler when it comes to Dontavian Wicks.
Those are the two that it boils down to for me.
I agree.
And I would go McLeod.
I'd probably go Ray. I'd probably go Ray. Daniel, half point PPR, Andrews or Ferguson?
Ferguson.
We've done a lot of Andrews or questions.
Yeah.
We're looking at Tillman, Reed, or McConkey, full point PPR.
Again, I mean, like I sound like a broken record, man. Remember records, vinyl? They used to. Jaden Reed. I'm gonna go Jaden Reed again. I love Tillman. You guys know that, and Laddie Daddy had a good game last week. I'm still gonna go Jaden Reed. I'm hopeful. The thing with Reed is like you've been starting him this whole time, and then like you bench him, and then all of a sudden he pops in a big game, and you're like, mother puss bucket, So I'm gonna go Jaden Reed.
Okay.
She likes
close.
Tillman.
No, I think it's close between him and Tillman. It's also a good matchup for the Bengals, right? And without anyway, Terry McLaurin, Chris Olave, Zay Flowers. Which one are we in? And
McLaurin for me against the Giants. And then the other question is Allen. Austin, try to trade one of these quarterbacks. Like, dude, you got value that's going to be on your bench every week. Somebody's got to be hurting for a quarterback. Somebody has to.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to hold on to both of those because somebody would give up probably a lot for either one of those quarterbacks. Fipper, should he start Khalil Shakir or JSN with DK?
I'm going Jackson Smith-Njigba against the Rams with no DK. But I like both.
That game's going to be really interesting to watch. Next up, Paul wants to know if he should start Cousins or Love. This is one I feel like we've seen quite a few times.
Yeah, I'm going Cousins.
Cousins over Jordan Love. Thank you. Dak or Darnold?
I got to check this one because I know that I have them very closely ranked, and I have Darnold ahead of Dak. Just because Darnold's been more reliable, and it's the Colts, and I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. And sometimes when you like Dak, he didn't this year produce. I still would start him, but Darnold's been more reliable. Darnold's also at home.
Ishmael wants to know if he should start Ridley or Chubb as the flex.
I'm going Ridley. I just don't like Nick Chubb in this game at all.
Yeah, me either.
Nah, it's not a great matchup, so I'd go Ridley there.
Same. Tracy or Stevenson, standard?
Tracy.
Yep. Oh, look at this. We're pulling our hair out. We're so excited about all of these things. Full point, roll the dice with an injured BTJ or play it safe with JSN.
Well, again, the good news is that you're going to know one way or the other about BTJ because the other game is in Seattle. Regardless, I'm going Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Okay. Did you mean because they're both in the afternoon?
Correct.
Okay. Xavier Leggett or Cortland Sutton? Full point PPR.
Sutton.
Okay. And now I just want to say real quick, he's starting K. Dotton in the flex. Would you start Xavier Leggett over K. Dotton? I think the answer is no.
Oh, no, I'm starting Kate Otten.
It's a good week for Kate Otten, and not in a chase the point sort of way, but in a
He's been good
matchup
lately.
related
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
way. The Chiefs are allowing the most
I mean,
fantasy points per game to tight ends on
he
the
ain't giving
season.
you, he ain't giving you 29, but I mean, he should give you 15.
I mean, we don't know that he's not giving us 29.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough, man.
Who are you
29
targeting in that
back.
offense now? Right? If you're
I
Baker,
get
like
it.
I think he's going
And
to
then if
see
you're the defense,
higher target volume all year long. I'm
but
not
also
saying
if,
he's going to score 29 either, but I'm just saying I think
mm,
that part of that 29 was an increased role in the offense, and it's a good matchup against the Chiefs to a degree in the sense that
yep.
they seem pretty okay giving it up to tight ends. Like that's like
Mhm.
almost like a bend but don't break strategy, right? Like sure, hit us with the short to intermediate stuff to your tight end, and then we'll stop him from getting yards after the catch. Ivan wants to start two of these guys: Elijah
Yeah.
Moore, Zay Flowers, Jalen Coker, Xavier Leggett, Tyler Lockett.
I don't love Flowers, but who's to say he doesn't pop one?
Mhm.
And then I'll go Lockett because of no DK.
Me too. Me too. Half point PPR. We're looking at Hunter Henry or Gesicki without Higgins.
That one's rough, and I'm pretty sure I have them ranked very closely. So I am going to look at my trusty second screen here, and I have Hunter 17 and Gesicki 18. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Very close.
Yeah.
Full point PPR, Terry McLaurin, Cooper Kupp, or Kareem Hunt.
Wow. That's you can't play all three. Like that's maybe it's guillotine. I've got Kupp ranked slightly higher than McLaurin.
That one's tough. I really
Yep.
I don't hate the matchup for McLaurin.
No, I don't either.
That's good for both of them. And maybe Puka
Yeah.
banged up means more Cooper in the game plan. I don't know. That one's tough. Yeah. So he says Cooper, go Cooper. Heidi wants to know if she should start Darnold or Stafford.
Darnold. Both good plays though.
I think I'd go Stafford.
Okay.
Not to complicate it. I'm
against
sorry.
Sam
I'm
Darnold.
sorry to
They are
complicate
taking
it.
away your USC Trojans fan card right now.
No, they're
Rhodes.
not. I can still I have always maintained that has not been a biased analysis coming from me about Darnold, and so I can be unbiased and tell you that I think Stafford's going to have a big game this week.
I think we
Love.
already had this one, but it's Kirk
Okay.
Cousins. Yeah.
Brett, the funk is back.
Oh, the funk man. I love it.
Standard.
But it's a Curb Your Enthusiasm thing. Yeah, you watch that show. It's fantastic.
I'm okay. Standard wants to pick two of these guys: Jacobs, Chase Brown, Irving, and Tracy.
Ooh, I don't love Josh Jacobs today. I don't love him. I'll go Brown and Jacobs though. But if you go Brown and Tracy, I wouldn't blame you. I'm going to go with Jacobs and Brown.
I think you got to go Jacobs. And I understand that Jacobs is banged up, but Jacobs, like you're talking about like tiers of running backs here that I don't feel comfortable putting Josh Jacobs on my bench for the people like Bucky Irving being in that conversation. Like he's a 2, right? Like, so I think we just have to keep opportunity in mind here. Aaron, who do I put? Are we looking for two to play in the flex?
Looks like who do I put it on my second flex? Maybe.
Okay, Keenan Allen, Jacoby Myers, Dalton Kincaid, Ladd McConkey, or Sam Laporta.
I think here I'm going to go with Jacoby Myers.
Okay, who would be your second option out of those two, just in case he's looking for 2 flex plays?
Laporta.
Okay, there you go. You got your 1 and your 2. Derek Barnett wants to start Waddle or Ridley.
Definitely Ridley. Again, I could be 100% wrong, but the trend with Waddle has not been good against Buffalo.
Yep. Nicole wants to know in half point PPR if she should start Kenneth Walker or look for someone else.
I love Kenneth Walker. I loved him coming out of college. I've always loved him. I thought he was going to have his best year this year. He is having his best year this year. I always trust him. He is in my lineup. No questions asked.
Oh, all right,
I want you to say this name.
I'm not going to do that, but
give Feltafish, Polamos. I know I'm just being funny now.
And that's why I wasn't going to try.
That's a tough one. I know.
You're like, hey, let me offend this person by sounding out their name.
I'm not offending them. I'm just saying it's not an easy word to say.
Pollard or Chubb?
Pollard.
Okay. Full point PPR doesn't change the answer. He's going with Pollard, BTJ, or Jaden Reed against the Detroit defense. Maybe 30%
I know,
chance.
guys. If Jaden Reed has a lousy game tomorrow, you could tweet at me and
We're
say,
gonna have
Fabiano,
a
you're an
lot to talk
ass,
about.
and I hate you.
We
But
wouldn't say that.
I mean, it's a good matchup. It's a good matchup. You know, I don't know what to tell you.
John wants to know if is he a
Mhm.
Dodger fan? Hi. Congrats on all your success this season. Wants to pick up a wide receiver with Cooper being out. Is it Dontavian Wicks, Lockett, or Demario Douglas?
Should give you the worst guy because you're a Dodgers fan. I'm kidding. Lockett.
It's Lockett.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, John. Go Doyers. Gary Johnson, Jerry Jeudy, or Jalen Tolbert?
So says the Angels fan. I don't really love either one of them. I'll go Jeudy, but Tolbert's sneaky against Atlanta. I'm just saying he's sneaky. I'll go Jeudy though.
All right. My best friend Mary wants to know if she should swap in. Should she play Christian Watson or Bucky Irving?
Well, I mean, Bucky's questionable for tomorrow night, right? So is it PPR?
I would assume so. She's not a loser. Oh, I'm sorry. Everybody who plays standard. I can't
Whoa!
do math. I can't do math. I can't do math. I can't.
My God. My God.
Like it's requiring math.
I
I'm
have
judgy.
Bucky Irving. I have Bucky Irving ranked higher. Daniel Benchworthy or Keenan Allen? No, I like Xavier Worthy on Monday night against the Buccaneers. It's a great matchup.
Xavier Worthy. All right, next up.
Xavier Worthy.
Xavier. No. Xavier Worthy.
Xavier I thought it was Xavier. No, it's Xavier.
No, it might be
Xavier Leggett.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to that one. Okay, so we've got that one. Josh, Brian Thomas Jr. or Rashad Bateman?
Listen, Smithers. Isn't that like a Simpsons thing? Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
I mean, is it? Like, we've been worried about Brian Thomas, the whole afternoon thing, the whole day.
And I'm assuming he's going to play.
Okay. Next up.
Laporta, Lockett, or Tolbert. It is certainly between the first two. And not for nothing, but Laporta has not been great, but last week he was very good. I think I'm gonna go Lockett here though, Linz. I think I'm gonna Lockett.
Okay.
Rams no DK.
I mean, the no DK, it means everybody else gets a bump. It could also mean that the offense just goes and nobody does well.
But the Rams defense is also, caca. So
yeah. All right, let's do two more. It's 9:57 here. Should he drop the Broncos defense and add the Bills defense? I think this is an interesting question because
I'd rather play the Bills. I don't love dropping the Broncos, but they don't have a good matchup next week either. So I understand that. So I'd rather have the Bills, yes, because they typically own Tua.
Yeah, I don't mind that either. I have not dropped the Broncos in a couple of leagues just because I don't have the options that are left are not particularly good. I'm not getting that excited about it. So I'm just going to ride it out and see what happens this week. Chad wants to know if you should start Stevenson or Javonte Williams in the flex. That's Stevenson. We're a never go back to Javonte Williams, which I'm sure you learned last week when he did nothing against the Panthers.
Watch. You know what's going to happen? Javonte's going to have a big game and Jaden Reed's going to stink. And by the way, we just got Jay Glazer. Puka Nacua is a full go.
There you go. So we knew this. I've been saying this. I've been saying this. We're never falling for that again with Puka. Yeah. If he's playing, he's playing. It's good. Go put him in your lineup. Never again will there be 18 points on my bench. Not on my watch, people. Thank you so much for joining us for the Week 9 Fantasy Dirt live stream. We're back again tomorrow with the normal podcast, 5 days a week. Go ahead and subscribe to that Fantasy Dirt on every podcast platform that you have and enjoy the games today, you guys.